Many profitable returns to you, my wonderful viewers, and how are we today? I have some very profitable business recommendations for you that you might find to be a great success. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, I haven't done a raid video in quite some time, and this one was slid into my DMs. It's not one that I've been using because, frankly, I don't need to use it, but I'm just here to spread the word. Caveats, I did not come up with this team comp. I've seen it's been making the rounds for a couple of months, but essentially, if you have Pirate King Hondo, there is a duo team that is relatively easy to get the max score on with only one tiny bit of RNG. Pretty quick run. I thought we'd go over it, you and I together as a team's unit, and see what opportunities it provides us to get more points with other pirate teams. Let's do this. Here we are back once again, ladies and gentlemen, and how the devil are we all doing? So, Pirate King Hondo, very, very good unit. Part of his requirements is an R9 OG Hondo, so that means if you've got an R9 Pirate King Hondo, there's a duo team that you can go for 3.6 million at the highest tier. Theoretically, this should work at pretty much any tier, but you know, you need R9 Hondo for PK Hondo, so you might as well be trying to do this at R9. PK Hondo is a fantastic choice for a Relic 9 character. Always focus on your GLs first and foremost would be my recommendations. So let's go over modding, because you do mod them a little bit differently for this. Instead of the usual, hey, let's go all crazy and go for speed, I know, laugh it up, Fuzzball, we are actually going for a lot of offense over here. So 564 speed, don't forget Pirate King Hondo is lightning quick, he is stupid fast, and then as much offense as you possibly can get. I've got 9.3, I've done other mod setups where you get like 9.6, 9.8, that sort of thing. More the better, the merrier, the happier. The primaries don't really matter, guys, just focus on the stats. People get too all caught up in, you gotta have this set and this set. No, just look at the stats, guys. Look at the stats. 564 speed, 9.3k plus on the offense. Who cares about crit chance and stuff like that? Doesn't really matter. Next up, OG Hondo. We're going for the same sort of approach. We want lots of speed. I've got 288 on mine and as much damage as possible. 9,511 speed. So, you know, don't worry about crit damage triangles or nothing like that. It's not really to your advantage. Just those two people to mod, get them fastish, get them super, super heavy hitting because we need the damage. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So the startup is a little bit different. We do obviously want to take out Fox as quickly as possible, but you're not actually going to use your specials. I know it sounds weird, but you start off with a basic over there on Fox, do some real solid damage to him. Then we're going to go ahead and capture Apo. After this, we're going to take our focus right back over to Fox, basic him, and he should be gone. Fantastic if that happens. At this point, you should have your OG Hondo, take a turn, and you want to be able to focus down on one of the Nightfall Troopers, and we're going to be using Dire Fortitude over here. Okay, Dire Fortitude, that's going to give us the stacks back, so that, you know, Lord Vader doesn't execute one of the Jedi. We want to focus down a Nightfall Trooper here, so we're going to use Charismatic Captain. Focus down on just one Nightfall Trooper. We want to focus that damage, call the assist with OG Hondo, take out that Nightfall Trooper, then we want to focus on Lord Vader. So just a basic on Lord Vader, and a basic on Lord Vader. At this point, you should be able to rescue that Jedi. You'll notice that we're just about to have him executed. So target the enemy Apo, use your handshake. Now, the only thing after this is where the RNG comes into play. After you've rescued that first Jedi, normally we have to try and defeat these enemy clone troopers. If they focus down and kill your Pirate King Hondo, your OG Hondo, you just restart, okay? So that happens quite frequently in my experience. They often just go all in on OG Hondo. A little bit annoying. So I'm just going to use specials now. We do want to focus down on the enemy Fox. Okay, that's great. So if the enemy Fox doesn't target your OG Hondo, you're usually okay. So focus down on the enemy Apo. And we'll just keep focusing down on him. And we're going to call in the assist over here. I could have probably captured one of these dudes. Not the biggest deal in the world. Okay, because he's stunned, target one of the disguised clone troopers and use the second special. That should cleanse the stun. Call the assist. Wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and capture a Nightfall Trooper here, just to slow them down a little bit. Focus on the other disguised clone trooper, because he's got less health, more health rather. Take out the final one. Great, fantastic. Now we're going to just spam some specials. We should be absolutely okay here. Focus on taking down at least one of the Nightfall Troopers. Great. So look, we've got 8 turns over here. What you can do now is you can choose to try and sort of cycle your cooldowns and that sort of thing to make sure that you're going to be in a good position. You've got 8 stacks of execute. You might as well try to build up your ult meter, build up your mastery, cycle through cooldowns, have things like capture available on OG Hondo or his second special available, so that when we go into the final wave, we've got all of our cooldowns. You also don't necessarily want to use OG Hondo to defeat this dude over here, okay? I know it sounds a little bit bizarre, but if we do that, the problem that we'll find is that OG Hondo will get stunned, and that's a little bit awkward for us. But we'll just show how it goes regardless, because we do have that second special. Fortunately, we killed him with Pirate King Hondo, which means OG Hondo can come in and rescue that Jedi. Once again, when it comes to the ads, you always want to start off trying to take out the disguised clone troopers, take care of them as quickly as possible, because without those guys, it is a lot easier to manage. We can actually get ability blocks across the board here, taking these boys out, taking these boys out. This final one, 0 problems. So again, what you do want to try to make sure is that you don't defeat one of these Nightfall troopers with OG Hondo, because that is going to make your life a little bit harder. You don't want to be going into that last wave with a stunned unit. Basically, we want to try and maximize our opportunities here. So let's just slap them down. Wonderful. And we're going into the final wave. Obviously, because we didn't kill all of the disguised clone troopers and all the clone troopers in the early waves, we do now actually have to take in, go against enraged Lord Vader. He is going to one-tap your OG Hondo. Not a whole lot you can do about that. Let's just go ahead and basic. We'll eat a counterattack and basic, and that's it. 3.6 million. The only bit of RNG that's involved is in that second section where does the enemy Apo on his second turn choose to stun OG Hondo and defeat him with a call to assist. If that happens, you back out and you play it again. The moveset is exactly the same every single time. Just try and clear through lickety-split. So I think this is kind of a cool move. It's good high-value teams for people that have gone for Pirate King Hondo, as you don't need to go ahead and R9 any other units for this to work. Throw this with your Tarkin Scorch, and you're going to be in a good position. Now, I don't know if you've seen my other videos, but there are Mars teams that can easily get 3.6 million as well. So if you have got other R9 pirates, obviously, Mars is still a great unit, by the way. You can go Mars, Ithano, Quigold. This can get 3.6, or you can throw in a full team, get 3.6. What I'm working on right now is trying to get 2 trio teams that will work at the R9 tier. So I know that this trio can work. Not this trio, sorry. This trio can work. I have a video on that. I'll try to remember to put a link up there. If not, it's going to be in this playlist. Which leaves me with the only other opportunity being maybe, trying to get this smorgasbord to work. But most likely, what I would like to do is swap out Ithano, maybe throw in Brutus, maybe throw in Smee over here, and then work on a third pirate team that uses Ithano lead. I mean, honestly, if I could get this to work, that would probably be an ideal situation, but it is quite tricky. If not, you can actually throw it in with your remaining clone troopers as well. The dark side clone troopers that you don't use, maybe you want to use that trio. But a lot of the times, you don't need to use them, so you can maybe throw in Apo and CX2 and try and get some max kills there. Obviously, if you have lots of pirate at R9, you could easily make 3 teams. If you had the full gamut, if you had Captain Silvo and you had Vane, those are the 2 that I'm missing, I believe, from the end game pirate factions. I'm pretty confident that you could easily do 3 teams. So we'd have to see. I don't know if Silvo lead with Brutus, Smee, Vane might be something that can work. Unsure there. But I'm happy to test it out. If I had things like Nest and stuff like that, I would also try to do that. Now, before we go, I do want to remind people I do have an entire playlist full of every single team that I run for the pirate faction for every faction in the Order 66 raid. Easily getting yourself at the highest scores you possibly can. I've got guides for, I think, pretty much every team, but if there is a team that I have missed, please let me know in the comments section down below. I'll try and kick something together for you, put it together, and hopefully you can benefit, because I think this raid is going to be around for quite some time. I don't think we're going to see a real fast turnaround into the next raid. I think the earliest that we're going to see it is going to be like August, October, late next year, essentially, the sort of Q3, Q4 next year, rather than sort of May, June, which is kind of the period that we got this one round. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it becomes a little bit later. So the more time that you have to take advantage of this new raid, the better off you're going to be, because the rewards here are still phenomenal. Still some of the best rewards in the game. Sweet. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I will see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.